Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play,
Ready? Play.
Hello everyone, there is no break in play, we're just about to start, and welcome back to Talking Tennis for what I believe is the first stream of the day. So lots of results already happened today that we can, I'm sure, talk about as the stream goes on, but our focus will be on Naomi Osaka on centre court taking on 19th seed Emma Navarro. Very exciting match. Glad to see it on centre. Not what I expected to see on centre, but a nice surprise to see it there for me. Naomi, of course, tough first round. I did watch her first round, and I thought she came through it well when she at times wasn't playing her best tennis. So that was nice to see, and I didn't actually get to catch Emma Navarro's first round, so I'm excited to see what she can produce today. And I'm just noticing that my stream is going to be so behind the scoreboard on the screen, I'm afraid, because if I was watching it on the BBC, so here in the UK, if I was watching it on the BBC, it would be fully up to date, very, very on time. But because I'm streaming it on BBC iPlayer, it is criminally behind. So Osaka is about to serve for the first point of this match for me, even though it's 15-all. So I am going to be a little bit behind the scoreboard. I'm very sorry about that. I'm sure for everyone out there who's watching elsewhere, you might be a little bit behind the scoreboard as well, because it's quite a good scoreboard, the Wimbledon one. Hello to Ashley, lovely to see you. Ghosty, thank you very much. I very much enjoyed the Man on the Street interviews. And hello to Ashley again, two Ashleys, lovely. Nice to see you all. Emma is playing well. I assume you mean Emma Raducanu. Yes, yes, she's obviously playing now as well. We'll keep an eye on that score as well. But yeah, okay, we've changed to a scoreboard that's a little bit closer to my stream, which is much appreciated. Thank you. So yeah, Naomi serving now in the first game. Lovely backhand down the line there to make it 30-15. Of course, this is the time of day where Wimbledon will be criminally empty due to Medvedev having just finished quite a long match previously. So we can't blame everyone for going to get drinks, but I tend to blame them anyway. But I'm sure they'll be back soon enough. Hello to Dan as well. Thanks for joining us. Have I been to Wimbledon before? I have. Last year was my first time going to Wimbledon. I was very, very, very excited at the time as Osaka takes the first service game. But yeah, I was really excited. I went to watch the women's semi-finals last year. So yeah, I unfortunately didn't get any tickets this year. And if I'm honest, the queue isn't really viable for me, just as how far I have to travel for maybe or maybe not getting in. But yeah, I had a lovely time. I'd love a coffee, but unfortunately, I believe he's already gone. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh well. You met Sue Barker 2 years ago at her biography book tour at Warwick University. That is really cool. I'd love to meet Sue Barker. Legend. And I did see Mehdi sit down when he thought the set was done, but it wasn't. And he was trying to indicate to his box. He was like showing his box what what the score was, and they were trying to tell him, "No, you're absolutely wrong." Very silly. Nice to see Maddie get it done in the end. Ashley saying Osaka must be favourite. It's tough, you know. Obviously, on paper, Navarro's 19th seed, but with these, you know, former champions like Osaka and Andreescu, you've got to take a little bit more into account. I'd probably agree with you that Osaka is probably the favourite here, but I do think Navarro has got as good a chance as any. Raducanu is doing incredibly well on court number 1. For anyone not checking, she's currently 4-love up on Mertens, 30 love, serving for 5 love. Wow. Not quite what I expected, if I'm totally honest with you, but very impressive. I'm super excited for the Olympics as well, Dan, not just from a tennis perspective, but I love watching a lot of Olympic sports. So I'm very excited. Although trying to balance all the Olympic tennis that I'll want to be watching with all the other Olympic sports I'll be watching, whew, good luck to all of us. Navarro getting through this first service game of hers pretty well. She's at 40-15. Obviously not quite on the scoreboard. Scoreboard's just still 1 point ahead of me, but yeah, making quick work of this one. The lovely serve and then inside out forehand to finish that off and get the game. Oh, mega return from Navarro there. Osaka with a wide serve. And Navarro hits a forehand cross court that's just got too much angle on it for Osaka to even get anywhere near it. Love 15. Better from Osaka. And one thing I really love about watching Naomi Osaka now, in this sort of new Naomi Osaka era, is her sort of forced positivity, I'm going to call it. I think she'd probably agree with that, in that she said that it doesn't come naturally to her to really try and be positive about herself, about her own game. But you can see that she absolutely makes herself bring that positivity to her game and to everything that she does. And she's really, you know, speaking positively to herself, smiling when she can. I think it's really nice to see. I would say Osaka runs out of gas as much as anyone on her trajectory probably would. I think we forget how, you know, she's still sort of in that comeback place. I'm losing my words. She's still sort of on that comeback trajectory. And I'm very excited to see her on hard courts in sort of the next 6 months, see how she gets on at the US and the Australian Open. I think everything that she's done on clay and here on grass is sort of a bonus for her, because hard courts is really where she's going to want to try and make an impact, and I think she's on a good sort of run to do that. Oh, 100% Ashley. Don't get me wrong, I love a Brit as much as the next person, but the BBC's favouritism towards the Brits can be even a little much for me to stomach, to be honest. It's very strong. It's very overpowering. Yeah, 5-love, as Ashley's telling us, for Emma Raducanu. Mertens now serving to stay in that first set, avoid the bagel. Lovely forehand down the line from Osaka, but Navarro gets it back just about over the net. And Osaka can't get there. Nice from Navarro. She's definitely proving early on that Osaka is not going to have this all her own way. She's not going to be able to, blast through Navarro, which I don't think we were expecting, but it's, Navarro's come to play today. Lovely to see that Bianca has won again. I like Noskova as well, but it's hard not to root for Bibi, I'll be honest. I'm not sure who she's got next. Not doing very well at keeping up with the draw, but good for her. Bit of a poor double fault there from Navarro, but she's 30-15 up, so it shouldn't make too much difference. One very long, one very in the net. Lovely inside out forehand from Osaka, but the second one is in the net, 40-50. Hi, Sean. Good to see you. I rather saw Raducanu and Sinner warming up yesterday. Pure accident. They were sitting on court 11 chilling, and those two turned up. That's pretty cool. Nice story. I'd certainly feel pretty lucky if that were to happen. Yeah, Mertens, I would say, hasn't been quite right on a singles court for a little while. She pulled out of the singles in Birmingham, I believe, but still went on to play the doubles very well. So I wonder whether she's sort of struggling a little bit in the singles at the moment. 2-2 here between Osaka and Navarro. Pretty even early doors, both of them holding serve with very little issue. Navarro really trying to take the second serve, a very aggressive second serve return that she's attempting at the moment. I'm not sure it's working out for her so far. Lovely inside out forehand from Osaka there. make it 40 love. This one could be pretty simple as well. Nice body serve from Osaka. And she holds to love. Mertens does avoid the bagel. She's held serve for 5-1, but Raducanu will be serving for that first set now. Very impressive first set from her. Looking elsewhere whilst they're at the sit-down. Is the comeback on for Thanasi Kokkinakis? Well, I would say it pretty much always is with him. It's always a possibility. He's 5-3 up in the fourth set, Kokkinakis. Deuce on Auger-Aliassime's serve. Never mind, advantage on Auger-Aliassime's serve, and he's got a set point to take it to a fifth. Of course he does. Never count that man out. Zhang with the first set over Struve. That one's an interesting one, for sure. Winner plays Mehdi, which I think is quite exciting. Sunny Cartel, yes, she does play Coco next. I watched that one, bits of it this morning between doing stuff, and yeah, she did really well to come back, because after that second set sort of fell apart for her, I was a bit worried about her in the third. I thought she reset brilliantly. Yeah, great win over Burrell. Hi, Josh. Thanks for joining us. Feels like this year a number of players have a real chance to win Wimbledon. Do you think that the draw and potential matchups in later rounds will have more of an impact than usual? I assume you're talking about the women's side, because I don't really agree on the men's. I don't think you can listen to Zverev as much as you want, but I'm not sure he's quite right about that one on the men's side. But on the women's, yes, I mean, without Sabalenka in this half of the draw, of course, you're going to say it's more open. I mean, it's difficult. I think maybe people are underestimating Coco Gauff a little bit in that second half of the draw. I feel like there's so much talk about, Sabalenka's come out. It's wide open now. Who could do it? And I'm like, maybe the second seed might make it. That could happen. I sort of feel like we're forgetting about Coco Gauff a little bit there, which I think might have informed my choices when I was picking my winner, because I did pick Coco Gauff to win Wimbledon, and I think that was half fueled by the anger at everyone else completely ignoring her. So yeah, I sort of think, as to your actual question, Josh, that I'll go back to, because I feel like I've gone on a Coco rant. Do I think that the draw and potential matchups in later rounds will have more of an impact than usual? It really, really depends on so very much. But yes, in that Sabalenka quarter, 100%, it's going to be really, really interesting. I would still say in the Coco quarter, it's not as important for me. Osaka and Navarro, by the way, still just sort of holding serve with relative ease, although Osaka is love 15 down after a backhand into the net. I know what you mean, Ashley, about lots of British players having a real chance. The only thing I would say is that half of them are playing each other in the next round. So it'll remove a good amount of them soon. That aggressive return position from Navarro does pay off that time. Nice forehand return that Osaka goes long, and yeah, Navarro at love 30 here with a bit of a first sort of chance on the Osaka serve. Nice serve out wide from Naomi. Goes for the backhand inside out. Oh, just long. And 3 break points for Navarro here out of nowhere. Everyone's been holding serve pretty comfortably, but yeah. Nice few points from Navarro, sets up 3 break points. And she doesn't need 3, she only needs 1. Navarro takes the break. A few errors there from Osaka, it felt like, rather than Navarro upping her game. Forehand in the net, too long. Little bit of a sloppy game then for Osaka. Gives Navarro the break, and she's 4-3 up. And I see that it's raining once again everywhere else, so it's just centre and court 1 that are playing at the moment. I would hope today that if court 1, for example, finishes within the next hour, they'll put somebody else on the court, because it seems only reasonable. But who knows? Only centre in court 1 ghosty with the roof, so it's just those that can carry on playing when it's raining. If Cam Norrie wins Wimbledon, Vange won't stop smiling for a year. Can't argue with that. Matthew saying, hi Matthew, by the way, thanks for joining us. Matthew saying that rain was forecast for around 8 p.m, so annoying it's come early. Does that mean if it's come early that it's going to stick around as well? Oh dear, that would be very annoying. Just like the sun that's just appeared where I am is very annoying. Hopefully that will disappear again soon. Right, Navarro 15 love up. To consolidate this break, good serve, makes it 30 love. Just looking at the poll on the screen, who's favourite to make the final from this half. Totally understand. I'd love to know who's put other and who they think is the other one who's most likely, for anyone who's here. I totally understand why people would say if Madison Keys and Coco Gauff play each other that Keys is likely to win, because she probably is. It makes sense. It's just whether she gets there for me. Another good serve from Navarro, 40-15. She's serving well so far. Doesn't seem to be affected at all by being on centre court either, Navarro, which is a nice trait to have, although that backhand goes in the net and it's 40-30. And that forehand from Navarro goes long. So what was looking like a pretty easy consolidation game, Osaka's got something to say about. We're at deuce. Yeah, there's challenges still at Wimbledon, much to the delight from the crowd, I'm sure. If there's one thing a Brit crowd loves, it's clapping while they do a challenge. Bread and butter for a Brit crowd. Right, well, the scoreboard's just gone away from me, but I believe that was a gorgeous backhand from Osaka to put her at advantage. Oh, it's because she's challenging it. Is it in? Oh! Tiny bit out from Osaka, that backhand. Marginally. So it's advantage Navarro instead. Big serve down the tee. Osaka's return into the net, and Navarro consolidates the break and is 1 game away from this first set. It's only been 24 minutes. And not taking any pages out of Medi's book today. It's a good serve from Osaka, 15 love. Even better serve from Osaka, that one's an ace. No, it isn't, it's been called long. She thought it was an ace. Big fist bump there, but not to be, second serve. That one's an ace. Very nice, same again. 30 love. Return in the net, 40 love. She's really making quick work of this service game, wants to make Navarro serve this out sooner rather than later, put all the pressure back on her. And she does. Great service game from Osaka there, incredibly quick. And Navarro is going to have to serve this set out if she wants to take the first set. Actually saying Emma has the break. Does she have the break? On my screen she doesn't yet, but maybe mine's incredibly slow. For me, it's been deuce on the Mertens serve for a little while, and they've been going advantage back and forth. No break yet. Oh yeah, I can see Mertens has just held in the first game, so it's a good hold for her if she wants to try and get back into that match against Raducanu. I'm sure she's in a rather hostile atmosphere on court 1. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Ghosty. I really don't think the expectation on Osaka is warranted. I mean, she said at the start of the year, didn't she? Basically, this whole year, she was just sort of coming back, seeing what she could do, seeing what she needed to work on. She wasn't expecting to be anywhere near her level for the entirety of 2024. But she plays one spectacular match against Iga Swiatek, and suddenly everyone thinks she should be playing like that all the time. Having said that, I'm still a bit excited about seeing her at the US Open. So I'm still a bit delusional. Just because I think she's a bit of a different beast there. But I do agree with you in general, when I'm not being a bit of a delusional Osaka fan, that we've got to allow her some time and get excited about the next few years with her, not just the next few months. She's very clearly still got the skills. And I think the ball was called out there for Osaka, but she's challenging. And that one was in, marginally. Are they going to replay the point? Yes, I think so. Second serve. Nicely done. Osaka's struggled on return at times today. For this 30 love. That was a much better return. The serve was out wide. She stepped. Got it back. Navarro in the net. 30-15. In terms of Coco's draw, Ashley, obviously she's got Sunny Cartel next, as we said, and then after that she could have the winner of this match, or she could have Sloane Stephens, or she could have Schneider. Set point here for Emma Navarro on what has been just a very solid set, I would say, from Navarro. One sort of poorer service game from Osaka, and Navarro's been able to capitalise and stayed strong on her own serve. Huge forehand from Navarro, seals the set, 6-4. Nicely done from the American. And if Osaka does want to get this one, she is going to have to take it to 3. Sloane Stephens and Schneider were playing before the rain, right? 6-1 Schneider in that first set. Whew. Stunning. That's very good. She has been so good recently, in fairness to Schneider. Her grass form coming into this is unbelievable, so I'm not totally surprised. But yeah, as we sort of take a little break between the first set and the second set, we'll be back in a second.
Number 10, Mirandreva. Number 9, Madison Keys. Number 8 is Victoria Azarenka. Number 7, Raketa Vondrusheva. Number 6, Ons Jabeur. Number 5, Jessica Pegula. Number 4, Coco Gauff. Number 3, Iga Swiatek. Number 2, Arina Sabalenka. And number 1, Elena Rybakina.
I love the music with that. Very jaunty. It's such a shame for people who such as Nick, who did power rankings, that then Sabalenka was gone, and then Azarenka was gone, and now Vondrousova was gone. Things that couldn't possibly have pre-predicted. Hello, John. You are muted, I'm afraid. Unless it's me, but I can't hear you.
There we go. Now you can hear me.
There you go.
That was my fault. yours. I just wanted to just join us just for a minute or so, just to look back on Nick's power rankings, which of course, yeah, you can always. I mean, the Sabalenka one is the one I even had her winning the title because you just don't know. I saw the withdrawal in Berlin with my own eyes. I thought she would probably be okay. It looked like it was more of a precaution than anything else. But from the minute she gave that press conference on Saturday, I think, it did look concerning. And then I think somebody tweeted that she'd rushed off the practice court on Monday morning. And she was one of several, of course, within a few hours of each other that pulled out just on the eve of their match. Of course, Azarenka being another, Alexandrova as well was another one. And what can you do? The only one that I think that has been highlighted, perhaps rightly, is that, and Damien feels as though the Azarenka one was a bit generous anyway, putting her above Madison Keys. But he's always on the Madison Keys train, is Damien. So there is that to bear in mind.
Rightly so. Who isn't on a Madison Keys train? Now I think she's got a brilliant chance now, hasn't she? Even better, but she had a pretty good chance before.
Someone who might not be on the Madison Keys train is Madison Keys herself. That's the only thing. I just don't know whether she really feel. I worry that she's now in this position where, with the exception of the Coco match, she'll probably be a pretty warm favourite or somewhere between warm and slight favourite in every match she plays. And even as you said, many people, perhaps me included, will be backing her to beat Coco should they meet. But so now there's this expectation on her shoulders that doesn't always arrive until she's sort of in the fourth round of the quarterfinals. Normally, she sort of can go under the radar a little bit, and it's like, oh, hang on a second, she's in the semifinals. Yeah, but she's playing Sabalenka, and then she wins the first set 6-love, and you're like, wow, where's this going? And then, of course, we all know what happened in that US Open semifinal from there. Yeah. I think the Osaka thing is interesting. I liked what Ghosty said, but she's Wim Fawcett, her coach, said the other day that he wants to prepare her for non-hard court slams as well. So she's in a position to be competing at all four. And her grass court form has suggested that she's a bit more of a threat this year than perhaps other years, albeit that threat might be extinguished in the next hour or so. And then, of course, we all remember how the French Open was and how that could have panned out very differently. So, yeah, I think there's some justification for being quite optimistic about her. And then from the minute this tournament finishes, well, she's playing the Olympics, right? I'm sure about that because she announced it a couple of weeks ago. But then when we get to the hard court swing, that's when she flourishes. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard not to get excited about Osaka on hard courts. Having seen, glimpses of what she can do even on clay and grass, I think, as soon as you get to hard courts, you almost expect her to be able to employ that more and more often.
And she said herself, I'm not sure if it was, I think it was in the press conference after her match, after her match with Iga, where she said, I can't wait to play on a hard court, put it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm probably going to let you be because we think this first game is turning into quite a significant one. I'll be back shortly.
See you again soon, John. Oh, Osaka there with another game point. She's had a couple, but the forehand down the line goes long. So we're back to deuce. This is our third deuce. Oh, Osaka comes to the net, tries to put away the volley, and it goes into the net. That'll be a tough one for her to take. She could have put that away. Instead, Navarro has a break point. Oh. Navarro doing well to get the return there, and she immediately looks up in that rally, looks more dangerous, and Osaka does put the forehand into the net. So an early break for Navarro puts her 1-love up in this second set. Ashley asking, does anyone think Sinner gets beat today? I'm sure there are people who think Sinner could get beaten today. I'm not one of them myself, but I certainly hope Berrettini can make it interesting. And if Sinner hadn't lost the set in the first round, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. But I don't know, he showed a little bit more vulnerability there than I was expecting. Not very much, mind you, but a little bit more. Oh, Navarro just looking so good now. Forehand exchange with Osaka that she just gets a better angle, gets better power even. Brilliant from her. Followed by an unreturned serve for 30-love. Oh, and good to see you've got 2 more live streams you can watch with Talking Tennis today. So you can follow the Sinner Berrettini match later with Damien, and then last ball drops after that. Hi, Jake. Good to see you. Osaka absolutely whacking that return, but it just goes long. And it feels like nothing really going right for Osaka at the moment. I can't quite believe that more people think Raducanu is more likely to make the final than Madison Keys or Coco Gauff, but it's fair enough. She is looking very, very good against Elise Mertens today. I can honestly say I've never seen that question before, ever. If animals played tennis, who would be best? I mean, it's got to be somebody who can really sort of... I'm going to go kangaroos, just instinctively. I'm going to go kangaroos. I know they're meant to be better at boxing, but I feel like I could give tennis a good go. Spring about the place. Navarro, love 15 on the Osaka serve. It feels like this is in danger of really getting away from Osaka here. Another wayward forehand. A little bit of that confidence goes away, and then she really struggles, I think, to find her depth. That was a better serve from Osaka to make it 15-30. I bet if you Googled it, there would be some sort of video of an ape playing tennis. They've practically got apes to do everything, right? They'll definitely have played tennis at some point. Osaka hitting some good forehands in this rally, but Navarro getting them back admirably, specifically with her backhand. And that forehand from Osaka is just one too many, goes long. 2 more break points for Navarro. That serve is too good though. 30-40. Oh, Osaka has stopped the point here. She's certain that Navarro's shot was long. But if it isn't, Navarro's going to be a double breakup. Oh, and it was in. That's got to be really tough for Osaka. Possibly an indicator of how she's feeling at the moment. But that is 3-love to Emma Navarro. She is flying away with this second set, just as she did towards the end of the first. I saw a question from John. From Josh, sorry, further up that I'm just trying to find. If Jessica Pegula wins Wimbledon, do you think she'll be mentioned more alongside the big four, given what she has accomplished these last few years? Honestly, no. I don't think she will be mentioned more alongside the big four. I'm going to say top four because I'm a bit hesitant about big four, but I don't think she will. And I don't think that'll necessarily be warranted that she's not. But I know what the tennis media are like. And I feel like Jessica Pegula winning the whole thing would be enough of a bit of a surprise that she would just be added to sort of the list of people like Vondrousova, who managed to win Wimbledon, but nobody really expected much of them going forward after that, and then gets disappointed when they don't live up to it. This is what I think. Do I think that's right? No, because I think Pegula has played some brilliant stuff in the last few years. She's done really well, and she's just more struggled in the slams than anything else. But yeah, be interesting. It'll be huge for Pegula if she does manage to win Wimbledon. Absolutely huge. It's a nice inside-out forehand return from Naomi Osaka, but Navarro puts away the backhand down the line like it's nothing. She is playing with such ease. And once again, I think it should probably be mentioned that they're playing on centre court, and Navarro looks like she couldn't care less, which I think is quite admirable. We've all seen what centre court can do to people. It's certainly not done anything to Emma Navarro, apart from maybe spur her on. That forehand, of course, as I say that, goes long. And it's 30-15. Gorgeous cross-court backhand, and she comes to the net to follow up with another one. This is some brilliant tennis from Navarro. Whoever she has to play next, which I believe is likely going to be Schneider at this point, or Sloane Stephens, won't enjoy watching this. I think this is a bit of an intimidating performance from Emma Navarro. Point away here from going 4-love up against Naomi Osaka. That was nice from Osaka, though. A nice cross-court forehand after a sort of switch from her. Nicely done. Hi, Julian. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Forehand to forehand rally here at 40-30. Naomi switches to a forehand down the line. It comes back to a backhand and she just totally mishits it into the net. And so many things just feel just not quite right with Osaka at the moment, but you can't deny how brilliantly Navarro is playing. She's 4-love up after less than 20 minutes in this second set. Incredibly impressive. As a Casper Ruud fan, that joke cuts deep. Poor man. I was so delusional earlier as well. When he won that third set, I was like, you know what? I think he's going to do this. No, of course not. Of course he wasn't going to do it. Of course he wasn't going to do it. Maybe he saw that announcement that he was going to play doubles with Rafa in Sweden, and that completely consumed him, and he couldn't possibly think about the grass tournament because he didn't care anymore. All he cares about is playing doubles with Rafa, which, you know, I can't knock him for that. Gorgeous forehand down the line from Osaka there. She makes it 30-love. She'll want to hold serve here. It's a long way back for her into this second set, but it'll give her a bit of confidence if she has an easy hold. Lovely ace down the tee. Holds to love after 4 incredibly difficult games. So nice hold from Osaka there. Yeah, 5-1 Raducanu at the moment. Mertens serving to make it 5-2, and then Raducanu's going to serve for the match. So incredibly impressive from her. I've just seen as well that they've moved Jasmine Paolini's match onto court 1 against Greet Minnen. So that will be following Raducanu on court 1, which is nice to see and very reasonable to put something else on court 1 at this time. And the fact that Navarro is getting through this so well might help them to try and get through these centre court matches, because they were going to struggle otherwise. They still might struggle depending on how long the Sinner match is, but they should be okay, I would think, if this one's quick. That is a great stat, Ghosty. I'm almost surprised it's not slightly more unforced errors from Naomi. It feels like quite a lot of bin, but I suppose those unforced errors are always a little bit subjective. That forehand goes long from Navarro. Love 15. Forehand down the line is so effortless from Navarro. It feels like Osaka is working so hard at the other side of the net. This rally's still going, exchanging forehands. I think Navarro's, has just gone along there. So 15-30. Bit of a chance here for Osaka to try and get at least one of these breaks back. Is play back? Oh yeah, play's started again on the outside courts. I hadn't even noticed. That's not very good of me. I've been too wrapped up in this match. But the reason I noticed is because I just got a notification that Kokkinakis has indeed taken Auger-Aliassime to a fifth set naturally. It's the only way he can be. So that might be an exciting one to keep an eye on. Already 3 hours, 46 minutes, that one. Nice serve from Emma Navarro at 30 all. Gives her the game point. Opportunity at 40-30. Stunning cross-court forehand from Osaka makes it deuce. She's not out of this yet. Another unreturned serve though from Navarro, and those are really getting her out of any tight spot she's been in so far. Navarro gets a net cord, and it sort of should make Osaka's next forehand easier, but she just mistimes it. So Navarro does hold 5-1, and she is one game away from the third round at Wimbledon. And I'm going to have to disappear for 2 seconds because the sun is in my eyes and I can't see anything. So I'm going to play.
Ready. Play.
My name is Clara Towson and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Right, sorry about that. Yes, there is sun in the UK, but obviously not at Wimbledon where we need it. Just near me, in my eyes. And already it's love 30 on Osaka's serve. And apart from that really solid service game that she held to love, she has struggled here. And it looks like Navarro might be ending this one quite quickly. Second serve for Osaka. Sort of into the body, but doesn't work very well. And Navarro puts away a backhand down the line. That is pretty effortless once again, or at least looks it. And it's match point, Emma Navarro. 3 match points, in fact. Exchanging forehands at the moment. Slightly longer rally, this one. That looked long from Navarro, but it wasn't. It was long from Osaka. Wrong way round. And Emma Navarro beats Naomi Osaka 6-4, 6-1 to make it to the third round.
Yeah. Are we surprised by that scoreline?
I am. I mean, I didn't watch Navarro's first round, so it could have been, if I'd watched that, maybe people who did watch that would have seen this coming. I don't know. I watched Osaka's first round and she did look a little bit ropey. So I thought this one would be tricky, but I still thought Osaka would certainly put up more of a fight than that.
58 minutes. Maybe there was a clue in this little video I'm sharing on the screen right now, where Navarro is practicing short tennis, as you can see in Bad Homburg last week. Although maybe she was deceiving. Maybe Osaka checked this video out and thought it would be a piece of cake, and it didn't turn out that way. But 58 minutes is the surprise element. I think whatever manner both players made it to round two, I think we thought that would be a close one. But listen, Navarro was the seeded player. Osaka's grass court pedigree is not exactly, it's not exactly there. I see Schneider has crushed Sloane Stephens 6-love, 6-1. So maybe we're going to have to include Schneider in the next poll that I put on YouTube as a potential finalist. Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe we need to include Navarro in this conversation. I mean, I just read out a list of names, which of course includes Coco Gauff and Madison Keys. But, I said one of these people is going to be making a Wimbledon final, and there was like 10 names, and I definitely didn't include all of the names in this half of the draw, assuming that certain players, aren't going to make it that far. But yeah, wow. Anyway, that was listen, I think Osaka doesn't need to be too down. She's had an okay grass court season. There was a very close match that she had with Andreescu in Rosmalen recently, which was exciting. And yeah, there's still some room for improvement on this surface, but for now, she's going to have to return to the clay, which is not necessarily her surface either. But yeah, but maybe we should be, listen, regarding the match today, I put it in the live chat that there were chances for Naomi today. There was the one where she challenged and she seemed convinced that it landed out. There was a couple of short balls that she sort of either put long or into the net. And, she wins those 2 or 3 points, and we could be looking at a slightly different match. But then that's probably doing Navarro a disservice, who, again, I put in the live chat that she had confidence coursing through her veins and didn't seem to be overwhelmed at all by playing on centre court today.
Yeah, I mean, she looked completely in control at all times. I certainly agree with you that Osaka looked like she had chances, but really every point that she had a chance on, Navarro sort of snuffed that out pretty quickly. I feel like she was pretty in control. She knew what she had to do. She obviously came out knowing exactly what she needed to do to beat Osaka, and she executed it brilliantly.
Jake here, by the way, he's on good form in the chat. He thought that I was on something funny when I was suggesting what animals would be good at tennis. Do let us know in the live chat if you've got an animal that you think would be particularly useful, particularly if it's not like of the ape variety. I don't know why I had sort of dolphins, but then I'm thinking like no racket involved for the dolphin. Of course, there'd have to be plenty of water around. Talking of plenty of water around, there has been plenty of water around Wimbledon at various stages today, so plenty of disruptions. I wondered yesterday if there must have been a way to get one of these matches onto court one. When
absolutely.
Empty for 4 hours yesterday. I mean, I was surprised that they didn't put on maybe even a couple of women's matches in that sort of 4 or 5 hour period last night. For those of you just tuning in as well, wondering if we've got some kind of exclusive footage of Navarro warming up and wondering what's happened to the lovely grass courts of Wimbledon. Well, this is actually a little clip from Bad Homburg last week, which is also, of course, on grass, but was a little promo thing. Rat terrier, yeah, I guess dogs again. But again, we got to rule out the racket element. That was the thing I was thinking when I was posing that incredible question. Whether we think about animals that could hold a racket. I think kangaroos could hold a racket. Could they? They have some sort of thing going on, right?
Or you could certainly tape a racket to a kangaroo.
Yeah, I guess. I hope we don't get any animal rights people getting very. We love animals on this show. We have plenty of animals. We've had a squirrel on the show before. Believe it or not, Kira.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily an invited guest. It just sort of unfortunately ran into a window. We don't know whether that survived it. It was actually a year ago during Wimbledon, actually. And it was Isabel's window where she jumped out of her skin. We've had dogs, we've had cats. We've yet to have like an alligator or a crocodile, and I do hope we never get one. At least in terms of actually like I don't mind sharing one on the screen, but any closer than that would be a little scary. And Kira, you do have my permission to leave the stream should one appear.
I will. Thank you.
Anyway, I've only had one coffee, by the way. That's all. Anyway, back to the tennis. Yeah, so that match is done. Osaka's grass court season is done for another year. Yannick Sinner, Matteo Berrettini coming up. So, unless you've got any final thoughts on Navarro and Osaka,
just that I think Navarro's third round is one that I will certainly be watching, having watched that now, whereas she wouldn't necessarily have been on my radar before.
Do we know who she's playing?
No, Schneider won, didn't she? So yeah.
Oh, okay. Navarro, Schneider. The two players that probably spent less than an hour. I'm guessing that Schneider spent less than an hour on court, unless there were some epic rallies there. But yeah, make sure you tune in to Damien, who'll be bringing us Yannick Sinner against Matteo Berrettini very shortly. And just want to say a big thanks, Kira, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's good fun.
And to everybody else, you know the drill.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.